Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Bodhi.
Good evening to you. Good evening to everybody.
Yeah, hopefully you have had a nice weekend.
Yeah, it's up and down.
Up and down. Okay.
So it's all right. Yeah.
Good to yeah.
After those operations, still it's not fully fit. It's not 100%.
Oh,
Can manage, but not 100%. Some days
okay.
are fairly, bad. So anyway, we'll try our best. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mahamangala Sutra helps us.
Yes, it is. Yeah, today I read it.
How
Mahatma Sutra.
how do you find the sutra? Is it good, or people are enjoying or understanding, or what? Any
Yeah, I can
feedback?
understand the meaning. I can understand it.
Ah,
No,
that's
no,
good.
yeah, not hard for me.
All right. So the other members also can understand, I believe.
Yeah, because the language issue, I think that if we translate it into their language, and they can understand it.
All right. The language is
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
And also my pronunciation may be different. You know.
Your pronunciation is really good, and I can
Um,
I can follow it easily.
yeah, because I was teaching at TAFE and university in
Uh,
Australia. So I used to go slowly. So no complaints from the students about my presentations.
yeah,
So
yes,
uh,
easy.
I believe people can understand.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I can easily. Yeah, thank you so much.
thanks for that. Okay, now let us go through this again. The first one is what we said is there was a question from this control who has controlled himself to a certain extent. When we say to a certain extent, fairly strongly controlled person asked Buddha, why can't I go forward because of this pride, or
Mm,
proudness related to
yeah,
my controlling power? So Buddha
yeah,
gave this answer in a very systematic manner,
yeah.
very systematic manner. And if you look at what this person is heading for, according to the instructions of the Buddha, if you look at what this person is
Heading for
heading for means where this,
mutually.
yeah,
Yeah.
where this person is taken to by the Buddha. Okay, the last verse says, if you go to the last verse, I would like to go to number 12.
Number
Number
12.
yeah,
Thank
number
you.
12. Just to tell you, here Buddha says, not the Buddha, the actually what has happened, we would say, what has happened,
Mm-hmm.
the the person who followed what Buddha has said, ultimately, is the result, or the outcome.
Mm.
Result or the outcome or the the benefit that this particular person got. Outcome, the benefit, or the results. It is quite clear that this person has followed the above mentioned directions. So, if a person has followed all these directions honestly, definitely that person should be successful.
Yeah.
Now, he realized and released all the contaminated things in the system and became a non-loser. When you say non-loser, sabbatta maparajita, ma parajita. There are two sounds, ma parajita. is not, parajita means loser, non-loser. Parajita means loser.
Loser. Okay.
Loser. Because I have written the two words in part to go with the same sounds. Ma is non, parajita means
Uh,
the
oh,
non-loser.
ma.
Maparajita. Maparajita. So
Mar-
it's Maparajita. So it's not going to lose for anything in the world. That means there are 8 vicissitudes. I don't know whether you have heard about that. Whether somebody praise you or blame you, whether you you are wealthy or you are poor, right? So you are praised by people or blamed by people. That person is not going to change the
No.
particles of the system. That is what it means. Particles of the system means when your particles change, that particular body changes. Now see, whenever we get scared, first thing happen is it impact onto the body first. The physical body get the hurt or the reaction. That means all the particles would change. The particles which are now is not no more. The particles change. To come back to the previous state or when you are calm, it takes a while. Now this is how it happens. Okay, look at this. This is important. Now, if somebody shout at another person, what happens to the person who is getting that shout is this. When somebody shout at a person, that person who is being on the receiving end, the person who is at the receiving end, the body particles tend to change. Body
Yes.
particles tend to change. That means without knowledge of that person, the particles of, if you look at the organs, all the organs would change. If that person is worried, only that happens. If that person is not worried about that scolding, action, then the particles won't change. Then no hurt is done, no damage is done to the system. So no matter what happens outside, no matter you get a pride or you become a loser, or some people are blaming you, some people are praising you, some people are neutral, no reaction from the system or the body particles, they are still the same. They remain as what they are before this situation occurred. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
When the body particles change, then what happens is the body particles undergo basically compression, squeezing, warming up, and vibration. These are the
Yeah.
4 items happen to the body particles and the organs.
Mm,
So
yeah.
if a person is carrying the anger all the time, that body particles are always at that particular state. That means no calmness in the system. From the time that person gets up or awake in the morning until goes to bed, the system is always, the particles are always burning and vibrating, and you name, all sort of things are happening. That is the change. So the Buddha used a word for that, that is called jati. In Magadhi it says jati. Jati,
That's
Jara, Vyadi, Marana. Jati, Jara, Marana. There are 3 terms. Jati means change. Jara
Oh,
means it get, all the system particles get disturbed fully. Marana means is a death of the calm particles are dead. Now the new particles have arrived with all sort of problems. So that is dukkha, that's the suffering. That's what Buddha said. So
suffering. Okay.
Buddha's, if you look at the first, yeah, suffering, yeah. I'll explain that again. This is important. Now see Buddha's very first, the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths.
Yeah,
You may have
yeah,
heard about that. In the
yeah.
first truth, there are four truths. So
Dukkha.
dukkha, yeah, dukkha is suffering. So Buddha says, jati pi dukkha, jara pi dukkha, maranam pi dukkham, piye vipayogo dukkho, appye sampayogo dukkho, yankinchan nalabati tampi dukkham, panchupadana skandha dukkha. That is how the Buddha explained the dukkha, but it is not the dukkha that we are talking about. We say, I didn't get that, that is dukkha. I don't want that, it is given to me, that is dukkha. That is not what Buddha's explanation. That is our explanation and our experience. But Buddha goes beyond that and said, if you stop what I am asking you to stop, so these things will not arrive. So that is how Buddha says. So anyway, the first one is jati. Jati means to do with the entire body particles and the organs. Now, when the body particles are disturbed, when you do or when you perform an action, if you do something that hurts you and the receiving and person also hurts because your system is not normal, it is abnormal. So abnormal system does abnormal things. So you can imagine a
Yes,
person is very angry, performs angrily, that firstly disturb that person, then disturb the others. That's the bad part. You can't disturb anybody without disturbing you. I can't shout at someone without hurting myself. That's why Buddha said, don't go to that because you are hurting yourself. Another important thing is somebody shouting at you, you just say that is an issue to him, not to me. That is a problem of that person, not my problem.
yeah,
Because that person is shouting at you because there's a problem with that person, not with me. So
yes,
if you join with that, you are in trouble because how to ignore that is to think that is an issue with that person, not with me.
yeah.
When I was teaching, one day students shout for no reason in the classroom. I was listening. It went for about 5 minutes, I believe. Then after he stopped, I asked, I think you may be happy with that you did. Then he said, yes. So the whole premises can hear that. Then I said, I am also happy because I didn't change my blood pressure while you are shouting. And I laughed. You know what I mean? So I didn't
Yeah,
change my blood pressure because I didn't change myself. I was just listening to him. So I was thinking that's his problem, not mine.
yeah. So great you are.
Yeah, so next day he came and apologized and said, sorry, sir. So I did the wrong thing. And he sat and, did the exams well and he got a distinction for that subject. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So if I
distinction.
shout at
Oh.
him, yeah, trouble. So I just kept silent because I gave him to produce his anger, disperse his anger. Let the anger goes out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So,
Yeah.
so, so you have to use them practically. Buddha's
Yeah.
teaching should be used in day-to-day life. Then only you feel better. Because these teachings are not to put it in somewhere and go along the way you like. You have to use them practically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
So
put it with the blend into practice and
yeah, when you put it into practice, on you realize the Buddha's what you call omniscient, or
omniscient,
the
omniscient.
ability
Yeah.
of the Buddha. Enormous,
Yeah. Yeah.
enormous
Yeah.
ability, because that can be realized only by practicing what Buddha said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after practicing, this person became a non-loser for anything. That means that is what Buddha took him to. Abbe
Neutral.
sotting gachanti. So
Ah.
everything is taken out. Antesam mangala muttamanti. So he has gone to the highest level
Oh,
of
house
controlling
level.
his system in any situation.
So
Any
good.
disturbance is not for him. Any
Mm.
disturbance is just come and
Servants.
go. They come and go.
Mm.
That's it. No reaction.
Mm.
It is
So
like a big, when the big a huge rock is sitting there. When the rain or the heavy wind is blowing with a very with a very terrific speed,
mm.
that particular rock won't move or tilt.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
Buddha gave that example to be like that. That's the example.
Yes.
No matter what comes against you, you just sit or
Stable.
stand and you be stable and just see what is going on and say
Yeah.
to yourself, it's not mine. It is somebody else's, not mine.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to take them because it's not mine. Somebody has created, not me. Wind is created by somebody, so the rock says, no, you take it, I don't want it. That is what the rock says. So we have to say the same thing.
Mhm.
That's the example given by Buddha, which is fantastic. Anyway, so
Fantastic.
yeah. So this one, Eta Disana Katpana, that means when this person followed what Buddha said, he became a non-loser. How he has eliminated. Sotting means eliminated. Sabbatta means all. Gachanti. Gachanti means it's all, all the things which are against coming to him is taken out. Tantesam Mangal Muttamanti. So that is the last verse. To come there, that person has to follow nearly 10 uh, instructions given in the the previous verses. So we'll go back to the first three again, and then 1, 2, 3. Yes, the question is clear. Question is, my system is with a pride. So how can I get that pride out? Asevanacha balana. Now see, asevanacha balana is don't associate with unwholesome thoughts. That's what it says. So don't,
Mm.
if you want to, now see, thoughts are coming, we can't stop. Buddha said you can stop the thoughts by not going beyond perception, sanya. Now see, rupa, vedana, sanya, sankara, vinyana, we studied that. To to complete a thought, we need 5 items. If you go through the things that I did, earlier, So we discuss about the 5 aggregates of a thought. So if you are with the first 3, thought is not completed, no harm done. You're with me? So there are
Yeah.
5 items in the thought. Rupa,
Mm.
Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. That means you see something from outside, you create the Upadana Rupa, but you never say to the Upadana Rupa, I like it or I don't like it.
Yeah,
So
just
then it
leave
will
it
go. You
neutral.
are allowing that to go away. So when the Rupa comes, you don't accept as good or bad, that is neutral, then it will go away. If you accept
Yeah.
that as good or that
Not
as
bad.
bad, then it will stay with you and start creating thoughts. So if you
Yeah.
want to stop thoughts, if you want to stop thoughts creating in your system, what you have to do is let the rupa comes. Let me see all around that. I see this person, that thing, this thing, that car, that house, that everything. But I never say it's good or bad. I look at it neutrally. Then that rupa will come. Of course, it will come to you and it goes away in its own. You don't have to do anything. Buddha says, if you get, say, if you get some sort of problem of, say, slightly you are not happy, don't do anything, just keep, silent, it will go away. Don't create another thought to release the thought, which bad thought that came into your system, then there'll be more thoughts coming and the things get worse. So
Yeah.
creating more thoughts is not a
Basically.
is not the solution. No. Can you
No.
understand what I said?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We cannot accept whatever thoughts,
Yeah.
and
So
then another source will be produced. Yes.
yeah. So that then there'll be more thoughts. There'll be
Yeah.
mountainous amount of thought, like a mountain. So
Mountain.
Buddha says, mountain of thoughts will be created just to get rid of one thought. So don't do that because that hurts you.
Yeah.
You go on, that is repetitively doing, that's raga. Raga is repetitively, you are producing thoughts. That's called raga. Raga.
Right.
Kama, tanna, rati, raga. That means repetitively doing that. Or,
Mm.
concentrating on something repetitively. Now, if the people are concentrating on something repetitively, that's bad for the system,
Mm.
and also it 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 I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but some people say for that disease of some people get dementia. The dementia is coming due to thinking about
Dementia. What does mean?
that's a sickness, dementia,
Signal.
dementia,
Signal.
sickness,
Signal. Dementia. Okay.
sickness. Yeah, sickness. Some people when they get old, they can't remember things. You know, they do
Mm.
all sort of
Yeah.
things, without their knowledge. So they
Oh,
can,
yeah.
their mind is not working. Dementia. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
if somebody is practicing this thing, of thinking about something over and over again, then
Mm.
it is bad for the mind.
Yeah, it is bad.
Yeah,
I
Buddha says,
get totally confused, I think.
yeah, the people get confused because if you go on thinking about something, repeatedly, so that
Mm.
can cause problems. So physically
Yeah.
and emotionally as well. So both
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
physically, and we have to safeguard our system physically and emotionally.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so that gives a lot of information. Asevanacha balanam. So don't associate with hurtful thoughts. Don't
Yeah.
associate with unwholesome actions. Both are valid. Don't
Mm.
associate anything hurts you.
Yes.
Either thoughts or either unwholesome actions.
Yeah.
Vasinaja balanam panditananja sevana means associate with whatever helps you to calm down. Then you admire, worship, and respect to yourself when you're on the right track. Pujaja pujaniya. Ekam mangala
Pujaja
muttama.
pujaniya.
Yeah, you normally what we do is we go to the temple and worship the Buddha by offering flowers.
Yeah.
So same thing here. Buddha says, offer to yourself. Puja is offering. That's the real word. You offer to yourself, to your quality.
Puja.
Puja means you offer offerings. Offer. If you offer something, you are giving something. So what you should give this credit or the award to yourself. You give. Puja means you give, offer. So offer the credit or the reward to yourself. Why? Because you are controlling yourself by asevanacha balanam panditanancha sevan. Yeah, we worship the Buddha by offering things. Now Buddha says, offer to yourself in this one. You offer to yourself, your system. Then the system will take the right decision, what Buddha said. So if you offer the things to make the system better, you are offering the Buddha because you are following the Buddha's teaching. So you are indirectly you are offering Buddha as well. Make sense?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Easy.
Yeah, that's good. You can understand. So etam mangala muktamang. So there is no any other reward that a person can get in this life. Etam mangala muktamang. All right, then go to the next one, please. It goes again to the next one and go to the new one.
Which one? The third one or
Third
fourth
one,
one?
yeah.
Third one.
That
Okay.
one, third one. Patirupa desa vasocha. So I said, we are living, everybody is living in an environment where a lot of rupa or the figures or figurines of various things are running around. So if you look at this environment, you get enormous amount of rupa here and there, of objects, the animals, people, situations, you name, everything is there. Enormous amount. Can't, countless amount of rupa. They are coming to our system through the light rays. So it's coming towards us through the light rays. They are, as waves. They are coming as waves or rays. We are offering Buddha, yeah, that's right. So somebody is asking that question. Yes, that's what I said.
And then let's just do the translation. Actually,
yes.
if we translate it into the languages, the attendees can understand you. No problem.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so you can go ahead.
Okay, no. Okay. Patirupa desa vasocha pubbeta kata punyata. So use your abilities to observe this, to enhance this, to accept this, to admire this. What is to admire? We are living in an environment full of rupa, but they are bringing to us through six senses. They are coming towards us through six senses in different modes, the rupa to the eyes, sounds to the ears, smells to the nose. So different, in various types of modes, MODES, mode is different. So different modes they are coming with different signals or modes. Atta samma panidita. So if you realize this, they are dangerous, then you are not going to make upadana rupa. Then because that person has got a pride. Pride is nothing but a upadana rupa that he is clinging on to or holding on to a upadana rupa and say, I have a pride.
I see.
So when people say I have got a car, I have got house, I got children, I got parents, I got this, that, buildings, name, I got aircrafts, all are rupa. That person is carrying rupa of those things. Buddha says,
Yes. Yeah.
they are carrying rupa and go
Into
to bed
the
with
system.
rupa. You carry all
Yeah.
this rupa, maybe 10, 15 rupa, you go to bed and think, I have got this, I have got that, I have got this. So all our rupa, running around in the mind.
Exactly.
you, you can't hold them. All these things, you have got two small hands, you can't grab them. Can you grab them? No. So,
Yeah.
so you are grabbing through rupa. But rupa is dangerous, Buddha says.
Yeah. Just the pictures, right? In the
That's how Buddha is, visualizing that for us to understand properly.
yes.
So if you realize that and if you are working, you look at the danger of that, then atta samma panidita, then you become calm. Atta means you become calm. So you don't touch too much. You just, what Buddha said is not to throw them away, all your house and this, that. But
Mm.
remember, you are stick to rupa. But when you are using them, don't attach to them too much. When you lose something, you go crazy. That's what happened to people. If something happens,
Yeah.
they go
Yes.
crazy. They
Mm.
get angry. The anger comes. All the unwholesome actions start building up. That's the danger. All
Mm.
right.
Yeah.
Atta
Yes.
samma panidita. If you know that, then yes. Then etam mangalam uttamam. That means there is no any other reward that you can get, like understanding the reality, what all these things are doing to disturb us. That is what it is. Okay?
Mm.
In simple terms. All right, we'll go to the fourth one now.
Who?
Yeah. When they are Bahu Satyancha Sippancha, Buddha realized that it is not easy to, you need a skill development. Skill development to understand and practice this. That's what Bahu Satyancha Sippancha. Lots of skill has to be developed.
Yeah.
Practice these techniques have to be developed.
Mm.
And Buddha says vinayocha susikkito, so that with discipline which secures, so that discipline secures your system. So it's which one is this number 4, yeah. So number
Number
4, yeah. So it's what Buddha says is Bahu Satyancha Sippancha. So what you practice to become you practice to develop equanimity, impartiality.
four.
So you have to develop
Partially.
impartiality through this particular exercise or practice. So your
Practice.
skill is you are developing how to treat everything with impartiality. That's what we have developed. Why? Then only you can go to the last one, a non-loser. Now see, it's all joined
Yeah,
together.
non-loser.
Now see, to become a non-loser, you have to practice that, quite well. Discipline must be there. So you can always look at this number 4 with one question, with the question 1 and the last achievement. So you can always look at up and down and see whether you are going along the right track. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yes.
Now see, that's how
Thank
you
you
look at
so
it.
much.
Last one, yeah. The non-loser. To become a non-loser, am I going
Non-loser.
along the right track? The Buddha is taking us to a non-loser. It's quite interesting. So, so interesting as well as important and very, very useful to make a person calmful. So it says if you practice that, right? The next line, Vinayoja Suskita, you discipline yourself. Subhasitacha Yavacha means the words come from that particular system or the person, is calmful thoughts, calmful words that calms that person as well as the others. So no harsh words, no bad words, no words harming others, but making calm, full and peaceful whenever that person talks. But that has to be developed. Then only you can become a non-loser because you don't shout at anybody. Because if you shout at somebody, you have to hurt yourself. So to stop that, Buddha says, practice that. Then what you practice, lot of practice, have a discipline of your practice. You are practicing to bring the system to equanimity and impartiality. To maintain the impartiality in the system you are practicing, what is the benefit? You talk with sense, your words are not hurting anybody, your actions are not hurting anybody, yourself and the others. All right?
Yeah.
We'll go to the
So
next one,
nice.
please. Yeah.
Okay.
You can go to the next one.
Non-loser.
New one. No, we went there last time. So that
No-loser.
No loser. To become
Cinderella.
no loser. Yeah, that's right. That's the idea.
loser. 是
Non-loser.
不倒翁的意思，不倒翁。She typed something wrong, I think. Yeah, I will check it out. No loser.
Non-loser, yeah.
Non-loser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get
Cinderella,
the right
have you seen that?
term in your language? Non-loser?
Yeah.
Yeah,
不倒翁. Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, the winner.
If I learn your language, would be better. But I'm too old to learn.
Okay.
I like to learn that,
Yeah, non-loser it means 就是通过训练之后就不倒翁，成为不倒翁，刮风吹不动的。Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Putawong. I'll try to remember. Putawong.
Yeah. That's it. Interesting. Talented in language. Dr. Bode. Yes, that's it.
Yeah. No matter how you learn, as long as you learn is great. So all the words similar to that, in your language, bring all the words similar to that, then it will establish in your mind. Yeah, don't lose.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, very good. Well done. Okay.
Yes.
We go to the part 5, please. Yeah.
Part 5. Okay. Part 5. Okay.
Part 5 or the verse 5. Yeah. Thank you. Mata Pitu Upattana. Mata Pitu means father and the mother, parents. So Buddha says, when you are treating your close people, use what you have practiced in number 4, the equanimity, impartiality. So because our system is so hard with the close, relatives and the, parents. So Buddha asking us to gradually release that attachment towards our loved ones. Makes sense to practice that. Release that attachment towards our loved ones, parents, the siblings, the children, little by little.
Yeah.
So that's the method given to start with that. Then only you can easily get detached from the other people, other things, easily, because you are not attached to the close people. So if you practice that, that is
Yes.
how it happens. So Buddha is giving some help to practice it.
Yes. Really good.
Yeah. So
Good.
start with that. Buddha says, start with that. So Matapitu Upattanam Puttadarasa Sanyamo Anakulacha Kammanta. So all the actions, Kammanta means actions, Kammanta, actions, involvements, actions, performances, Kammanta. Now see, I written involvements or actions or whatever you do. Okay? Don't put them into various categories. This is my parents, this is my son, that is my, brother, this, that, all are equal, treat them equally. So if they need help, you help them then and there. But without thinking, you are helping such and such. Otherwise, you discriminate.
Yeah. Yes. Discriminate.
You have to get rid of the discrimination.
Discrimination.
But
贴了很多
discrimination
标签。
hurts.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
see, when you are to one side, even that person does something wrong, you don't say anything. If somebody that you don't like does something wrong, you shout at that person. So that is what happens in the discrimination line.
Yes.
So Buddha says don't do that, because if somebody does something wrong, you can be very patient towards that person.
Yes.
You practice patience, so that means you practice the equanimity. So no matter if somebody does something, hurts you, you just say to yourself, that's his problem, not mine.
Exactly.
That's the strategy given by the Buddha. Buddha gave all strategies to overcome these problems. Now see, so Buddha says, just ignore. But Buddha never said to, what you call, be patient is not the real word. Buddha says just ignore. Because when you are patient, the patience has a limit. When the limit goes up, you get energy.
Yeah.
So that
忍耐
term is
有
not
限度的。Yes.
when you are patient, it goes. You are patient this time. Next time you give to tell them, to somebody. This is the first time. Second time I am not going to tolerate. when,
Yeah.
when that happens 2-3 times, you go mad. That's bad.
Yes. Exactly.
That's right.
The patience, yeah, there is a limit.
The patience has got a
Limitation.
limit.
Yeah.
Limitation. But
Yeah.
if you ignore, that's for once and for all. You ignore, it will never come back.
Yeah.
If you ignore something. So now see, I had to very, very carefully use these terms. Otherwise, I'm giving the wrong message. One can ask, be patient, but it comes to our mind because we are used to these things from our small age. Parents used to say, be patient, son, be patient, so it comes out. But reality is just ignore. Just
Yeah.
ignore. Just ignore once and for all. That person is shouting, that's his problem. I just ignore because I'm not going, I have nothing to do with that because it's his problem or her problem. That's not mine. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So Buddha Darasa Sanya is, use all, all the things, even the Anakulacha Kammanta Itamanga, I said that what it is. Okay, we'll go to number 6. So the last one for today, then, yeah, that has many things to talk about. Danancha Dhamma Charyacha, important one. That's a very important. So when that person is doing all this or following all this instruction, we have to figure out what's going on in his mind now. What could go in his mind now? So if something is going on, disturb him, then there should be a strategy to get rid of that. So Buddha has to look at while that person is going through all these, things that Buddha said before that up to 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 verses because first one is the question. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
other 4 are the instructions. Now see, this is how you analyze. You can't just go on, should not go on, by hearting this, this is that. No, no, no. By hearting won't stick in your mind. Now see, I have not by hearted these things. I'm just explaining by, according to merit. I mean, according to what comes into your mind. Okay? Dhanancha Dhamma Charyacha. So we have to get this one right. These are very important thing because Dhanancha Dhamma Charyacha is one of the qualities of Sangha. One of the qualities of Sangha. A noble person.
Noble person.
Yeah.
Sage one.
Yeah. So it's a very important item. Dhanancha Dhamma Charyacha. Okay? So
Yeah.
Buddha says, bring your system. Dana means Dana has got 2 meanings together. That is what is contained in your system. But people say Dana is giving the people to eat. Dana. But Buddha is not telling that as Dana. That is treatment. Treatment is different to Buddha's dana. Dana is what you contain in your system. Whatever you contain in your system produces a speed. There's a speed in our system. Everybody has got a speed. They've got different speed according to different items that stuck or stick into the system. Upadana Rupa, different Upadana Rupa has different speeds to activate them. If this Upadana is, if I activate my house as the Upadana Rupa, that has got a big speed. Okay?
Really?
Okay?
So more attachment, more higher speed.
Yes, speed is higher. Quite right here. It's going fast, terrific speed. Now see, if I look at my old clothes, no attachment. So the speed is less.
It's little.
Very old shoes, no attachment. You don't care about them, right? I'm just giving examples, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's the reality. So higher the attachment, higher the speed. So dana is the speed. Now Buddha is saying, bring the speed to the neutral level. That is the speed of equanimity.
Equanimity.
Impartiality. So if you can bring your speed to equanimity or impartiality, it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt others.
Exactly.
If I talk to somebody or if I advise somebody with the impartial speed to my sons or wife or husband or friends or anybody, I'm at a very low speed, right? I
Yeah.
can control my words very peacefully. I can control my particles without hurting them. You know,
Exactly. Yes.
yeah,
Writing
all the
is so
particles, my
fast.
organs are, living well without no problems, no blood pressure, nothing.
No.
Okay, no high blood
Uh,
pressure. So
yes.
you are at a very normal level. Dana is that.
Okay.
So
Then.
Buddha says, if you are at dana, if you are at that speed, danancha dhamma charyacha, that's then you are moving towards anything is you are, charya means you are moving towards anything means you are acting, you are talking, you are doing any action, you are thinking, all are impartial. Impartially you can do that. Charya means your approach, your self approach towards anything is calm. That means when you drink something, you're calm. When you do something, you're calm. When you clean the house, you're calm. Okay, when you go to shopping, you're calm. All activities are done calmfully. Charya means that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
approaches or whatever. If I explore, it's just few words are here, but I'm explaining broadly. Dhanancha Dhamma Charyacha. So speed contain things, you contain things at equilibrium, equanimity speed of equanimity, then use that speed to contain things while doing all the things in this world, day-to-day work. Dhanancha Dhamma Charyacha. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dhanancha Dhamma Charyacha means you stick to the right speed which doesn't harm you or others. By containing things, what we should contain, we should unharmful things. No
Mm.
kama, tanna, rati, raga, lobha, desha, moha, matsarya, krodha, five hindrances, kama, chanda, vyapada, tinamiddu, uddacha, kucha, vijigicha, then the 10 fetters, then the panchupadana, not panchuda, sorry, the dependent origination.
Yeah. Independent. Dependent origination. Yes.
So these are the bad things. Okay,
Yeah.
Panchupadana skandha also a bad thing because it's explodes in that one. What I said is not wrong, but Buddha says in a systematic way. So we have to stick to that. Anyway, so that is what to be dealt with calmfully.
Mm.
Then what's the benefit? Then you do not treat anyone as close associates, within the system. So then you can maintain the dhanancha dhamma charyacha jnata khanacha sanyas. That means not treating anybody as close or with attachment, I would say, with too much of attachment. Then only you can do that. Why Buddha said this? Because look at what Buddha said in the previous things. So Buddha knows that this person is going up and down, find it hard to do this. What you call the Buddha is giving strategies. So Buddha knows that said not to associate with bad thoughts. Then this helps Dhanancha Dhammacharyacha bring the speed to that level, equanimity. Then you get calm yourself. You bring it down.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You see, there is a thing missing there because anavajjani kammani, I have not put those three terms within brackets. I missed that.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So we
No
have to,
worries about that. Yeah.
I have to include that. So anyway, anavajjani kammani means then as a result of introducing new practice to the system, not skilled before. That is what it says. So you realize that it is a skill, a new skill coming to my system, which I have not practiced earlier. So it brings me calmness. It brings me important outcome, helpful outcome. So that is anavajjani kammani. So all the kammani means all the actions. So skilled that you get skilled. Anavajjani is introducing a new skill. Etam mangala muttamam. There is no any other reward or award that a person could achieve in this life. Because that part is repeated by Buddha.
Yeah.
So everything has to be praised. So then only that person would worship or respect. Now, I would like to go back to the 5 and come back to here because I don't want to go to 7 because 7 has to be explained in a broader sense. So maybe tomorrow. Okay. So we go to the first one and come back to brief them and then okay, we'll go to the first one, please. First one.
Which one? First one, the question?
Your question. Yeah. I just like to repeat the question several times because that has to be kept in your mind because Buddha is trying to answer that question with all these, helpful statements or verses. Okay. Bahu deva manussaja. Bahu means lot. Deva means I have controlling power. Use my entire controlling power to become a manussa. Manussa means the quality of a noble person, manussa. So I use enormous amount of power, controlling power to become manussa. Mangalani achintayum. So mangala is, blissful level, eternally blissful. It won't change. It will stay there forever. So Mangalani Achintayum, to become that. Here comes all of a sudden this fellow came. Who is the man? Person? Akanka Mana. Self-pride, enters the system, approach or, encroach my system. So I feel I can't go any further. How can I get rid of this problem? Ruhi Mangala Muttama. That incurred especially due to being well controlled, being well controlled, but it comes here, Mangala. So that's the question. Buddha says, Asevanacha Balanam, second one, please. Asevanacha Balanam, don't associate with unwholesome actions, thoughts, this and that. Asevana cha balanam panditanam cha sevana. Now see, Buddha always asking us to not to do bad things. Buddha is not asking us to do good things and get bad things, erased by the good things. There's no such thing in Buddhist terms. When the Angulimala who killed 999, Buddha didn't say you come here and first you erase all the bad things, then only I can teach you. No, there's no such thing. You can't erase bad things that we have done with good things. There's no such thing. What happens is Buddha said, don't do it hereafter. Stop it. Then you become a different person. So once you become a different person, whatever we have done earlier, bad karma or whatever you call, is no more. They are not activating within us through our system, either with our knowledge or without our knowledge. It doesn't work like that. So it won't come out because you're changed entirely. You are a different person. That is how it eradicated. You can't just eradicate it with good things. Because some people think, when we do good things, the bad thing will get erased. There's no such thing in Buddha teachings. Anyway, Panditananja Sevana, that means Buddha said, if you are not, associating with bad things, that enables to become better. Panditananja Sevana. But Buddha has said Pandita, the good deeds. There are 37 factors of enlightenment, which we can discuss later someday. That's quite interesting. Yeah, 37 factors of enlightenment. Yeah, which is in the Mahasatipatthana Sutra. So anyway, Puja cha pujaniyana. Puja cha pujaniyana means you offer yourself to this particular thing. You respect yourself, the state that you are prevailing now, the state that you are experiencing now. You worship that, you reward that, you bless that. That is what puja cha pujaniyana. You offer everything to this particular system to go forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So go to the next one.
所以还是真正要供养法啊。Okay, go ahead, please.
Rupa Desa Vasocha, you know what it is. We are in the, Rupa, we are associating with Rupa. Okay. So Pubbeka Punyata, use your abilities to realize that when you become cool or you become peaceful. Okay.
Peaceful?
Yeah. Yeah. Then go to the fourth one, please. Bhav Satyancha Sippancha, the next one. Yeah. So you have to develop a lot of skills.
Yeah.
Then the discipline must be there.
Yeah, discipline.
Discipline, you develop the discipline. Then you think, talk, and act peacefully.
Yes.
Always. All right. The last one we said just now. So therefore, you got the answer, some sort of Mata Pitu. So Buddha gave us method to develop impartiality by treating equally your associates, close associates. Okay, everybody, thanks for listening. If you're happy.
Yeah, very interesting. Thank you so much for your contribution.
That's all right. Yeah, we'll proceed and we'll repeat this, over and over again. Then you get a good understanding. All the best. Thank you.
Yeah, really good. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All the best.
Take good care. See you then.
Okay, thank you.